Yo, little crab here. Have you ever wanted to do a stacking build but thought that's just too expensive to get off the ground and started? Well, I've got a affordable, in air quotes, deck stacker, which I've been really enjoying. There's a lot more room to push it further, but I'm comfortable with where it's at, and I've done this all on a round 15 divine budget, which I know affordable means different things to everyone, individually, but as far as stacking, whether it's attributes or accuracy, whatever, is notoriously very spendy, and 15 div is not that much compared to how much it is to, let's say, get accuracy stacking comfortable or rank stacking even. So let's get into it. So the important things are, we've got Hand of Thought and Motion. This is where, from the base, we're getting adds 1 to 10 lightning damage to attacks per 10 dexterity. We also get increased critical strike chance per intelligence with percent increased dex and intelligence on the item. This one does have gain power charge on crit strike, which is nice. These are kind of rare, and the price on them has really fluctuated. There'll be a 3-day period where there's 2 on there for 20 divines, and then suddenly there's 10 for 1 divine. Just keep an eye out. You might be able to snag one cheap. Before that, what I was using was a Stormbrand with a power charge on crit setup in my claw. As you can see, we have a bunch of open gem slots, but the basis of this build is Hand of Thought and Motion. Brisk Wrap is a great way to get some damage per dexterity, increase dex. It doesn't have life on it, so we can take the node on the passive tree for percent increased maximum life. There are no life modifiers on our body armor. And Fractal Thoughts, which is 1% increased elemental damage per 10 dexterity, along with critical strike multiplier if dex is higher than intelligence, which it will be. We are at 17,000 dexterity. Then the other big one that you need to pay attention to is 15% increased dexterity if your strength is higher than your intelligence. This gets close. I currently have this allocated. I don't need it for gear requirements, but I do need it to stay above my intelligence, or I will lose that dex multiplier. This helmet with the enchant on it is only 80C. It's not expensive. These with perfect rolls, here, let's look at one without the implicit, 20C. 20C for perfect rolls on these claws. You could get 2 for 40C. The spendiest individual piece is going to be your 6 link Brisk Wrap, which is 2.5 divines, 2 to 3 divines. That's where your biggest cost is coming from for an individual item. All these bases are very cheap. So within the range of 13 to 15% dexterity, you can get one of these amulets for 40 chaos. So remember, you can buy these because they roll in a range. You can buy it on the low end. You can buy 13% for your implicit, and you can bless it to get it up to 15. And then you're going to throw on attribute catalyst. It'll go up to 18. We don't have dex implicit rings. These only give you 6% increased dexterity, which is, for your min-maxing, go right ahead. They're very expensive, and they give us a very small increase to our DPS. Honestly, getting another level will give us more increased DPS than one of the rings. It's not worth the value. This is how we keep it at an affordable budget, which also means we get to grab Fractured Chaos or whatever resistances you need. So if we look at a Fractured Chaos base, these are 10C. let's call it 33 chaos, 10C. These were, 10 to 40C each, depending on your base and what you're looking for. And then you just throw dexterity essence at them till you get something you like. And then you craft on either the life that you're missing, all attributes, whatever. We get so much from just flat dex that you can roll some pretty shitty gear and get away with it for a long time till you've got the money to improve. Same with the belt. This is a 10C to 20C base. You get a 10%, bless it up to 12%, throw on catalyst. The way we are avoiding elemental ailments is using stormshroud. Where did I put mine? We're using stormshroud, which says modifiers to chance to avoid being shocked apply to all elemental ailments. So all you have to do is get to 100% chance to avoid being shocked, and you can't be affected by freeze, ignite. This includes sap and brittle. It really opens up what altars you can take when you're altar farming. And the way we do this is by rolling Essence of Torment. So it says on here, other armor, there's a 51 to 55% chance to avoid being shocked. We just roll our boots with these till we hit something we like. Mine only have 10% increased movement speed, but we're super speedy with whirling blades and attack speed. So it's not, I don't feel like I'm missing out on that. Honestly, I forgot I only had 10% on these, but you roll that and then you roll the Searing Exarch Implicit to give you the remaining chance to avoid being shocked. So this combination puts us at 91% chance to avoid being shocked. Means we have to get a little bit more, which I am grabbing here. You do not need all these points. You just need 2. If you can roll 1% better than me on your essence roll, you grab the 3rd. If you don't, if you roll low, I take them all because it's nice life, which also means you can roll cheaper essences. There's other ways to fit this in. Yeah, stormshroud is okay. It's gone up. It's like 3 divines now. This is another big piece of the build. If you don't want to invest in this, you can drop wrath and use purity of elements. I did this for a long time. This helps you with your res until your res is fixed. I do recommend that for a cheaper, easier version. Purity of elements, easy way to go. Drop wrath. The damage loss is 1 to 2 million, and when we're sitting at 18 to 20 million, it's not a big deal. And the other thing that really helps our survivability is I recommend a Watcher's Eye. This one I do have wrath on. They're expensive now. I got it for pretty cheap, but the big one is chance to evade attacks while affected by grace. This gives you a flat increase to chance to evade. As you increase your evasion when you get into like 90% chance to evade, it takes a lot more evasion number to increase that evade percent chance. Really hard to get those last few percents. This, rolling up to 8%, is a huge boost. It really makes the difference. You feel it when you take this off. It's 2 to 3 divine. I really recommend it once you've got the money. This is a great upgrade to fit in there. Till then, you've got 2 extra points. Here's where my stormshroud goes. And same with my gloves. This base fractured dex is like 10C. They're very cheap. Same the boots, the fractured dex. It's affordable, and you get the satisfaction of very simple crafting of just spamming some essence on there, but it feels really good when you hit something that works for you. Don't forget, you can use Harvest to change resistances. So you can change cold to fire, whatever you need. If you hit a nice resistance and it's not the one you need, throw it in your bench. change it to one you need. It'll change it by, 2 to 3% possibly. Sometimes it goes up, sometimes it goes down. It's still a really nice way to save how long you're spamming essences for. All in all, this is a very, very affordable base to get this going. If you want to scale it a lot more, there's a lot more you can do. We can use the tattoo for an extra projectile right here if you change your pathing. And if you go up here, you can put in the jewel that doubles the effect of tattoos. Give you 2 projectiles. The way projectiles shoot with Spectral Throw is they fan out. So the more you have, you're not going to hit all of them. It still feels good for clearing. Having more projectiles is nice. And the way they come back to you, they line up, so it does help with shotgunning bosses. But those 2 extra projectiles do not make or break the build. You can also throw in Blood Rage. I am using this mastery. If you took Blood Rage to get your frenzy charges, you could change it to enemies near your marked enemy are blinded for a little extra defensiveness. We are a Grace build, which means when a hit comes through, we really feel it. You will get one shot sometimes. But if you play it safe and make sure you roll your maps correctly, you can still level, you can still get through just fine. Just know you're a dodge-based character. Sometimes you're at 95% chance to evade. Something's going to come through that 5% and it's going to kill you. And it's not going to feel nice, but that's just how evade characters are. I've really loved it. I might play this every league now. It's super cheap to get started. There's lots of room for upgrades. It's a really flexible build. You don't feel like you're pigeonholed into a single item. You're not like waiting for that 10 divine item to drop in price so you can finally play the build. No, there's lots of ways to get started on this. I recommend checking it out. Play it for yourself. If you end up checking out the build, or you just want to see more Path of Exile content, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps me out. Thank you for watching. Until next time, peace out.